cut across to more breaking news coming in. Air India has started inspecting the fuel control switches across its Boeing 787 Dreamliner fleet. Inspections of half the fleet that have been completed already, with no glitches found so far. But inspections of the remaining aircraft of Air India are still underway, following the reported defect involving a fuel control switch on one of the Air India's B787 aircraft. The airline company's engineering department has escalated the matter to Boeing for priority evaluation. Let me take this to my colleague Shreya Chatterjee joining us on the broadcast. Shreya, what more are you picking up from your sources in Boeing and in Air India to how the checks are being conducted?
Well, Suresha, there was an alarm that was raised after one of the Boeing Dreamliners that was to fly from Bengaluru to Heathrow was immediately grounded after the switches were found faulty. Now, Air India has actually carried out a security sweep, and they're saying that they've inspected and in fact started inspecting all the fuel control switches across their livery of Boeing 787 Dreamliners. Half of the fleet inspection is already completed, and they're saying that they've not found any glitches, but inspection of the remaining aircraft is still underway. After that defect was reported, we had seen there was a statement that was issued by the airline that they have grounded the aircraft, and now the engineering department has escalated the matter to Boeing as well. Boeing, in a statement yesterday, had said that they will be cooperating and they are observing the entire development situation. So this is something which is brought of great concern, especially at the backdrop of the Air India crash report, which is still pending. So clearly, what we are seeing right now is a security sweep that is being carried out by Air India across their Boeing 787 Dreamliner fleet.
Oh yes, and this is important, Shreya. But do also take us through the details of the findings so far, with Boeing also putting out details and saying that while half the aircrafts have been checked and there has been no glitch so far, the other half that still remains.
This is a statement that's coming from the Air India team, as they say that this is their engineering department which had escalated the matter to Boeing for a priority evaluation, followed by which the security sweep is being carried out. Half of their 787 fleet they have already conducted, and they are saying that in those that the security sweep has been completed, no glitches have been found. But having said that, there's remaining amount of fleet that's still to be inspected. So probably it's a developing story, Suresha. Once the entire inspection is completed, we'll get a better picture on where the situation stands. So far now, that one flight that's concerned, that had been grounded and the checking is still continuing, is what we do know.
Right, Shreya. Thank you for those details. And well, months after the deadly Air India crash, a fuel switch scare that has once again raised an alarm. A pilot on Air India flight reported a fuel control switch defect after landing, prompting the airline to ground the Boeing 787 aircraft. With concerns over the Ahmedabad Dreamliner crash still fresh, pilots have yet again warned of the serious safety red flag. Getting you all the details in this report.
Months after the deadly Air India crash, the fuel switch scare is back to haunt the airline and flyers alike. One of the pilots on an Air India flight from London to Bengaluru reported a defect in the fuel control switch after landing in Bengaluru. Air India has grounded the plane. The aircraft, like the one that crashed in Ahmedabad in June last year, was a Boeing 787. Air India has said that the matter has been communicated to the aviation watchdog DGCA. Earlier, following a DGCA directive, fuel control switches on all Boeing 787 aircraft in its fleet were inspected, but no issues were found. The airline has also flagged the issue to Boeing, which in response has supported Air India's review of the matter.
They should corroborate with the data, flying data recorder and other observations. But if you remember, even in 2018, there has been a recommendatory guidelines by Boeing and FAA about the sensitivity of fuel control mechanism. So we now need to look at it more seriously.
The scare brings back memories of the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, which crashed in Ahmedabad in June last year, killing 260 people. Preliminary probe had revealed that within seconds of takeoff, both engine fuel control switches were moved from run to cut off. As per the cockpit recording, neither pilot knew who turned them off. The fuel control switches were turned back on 10 seconds later, but the engines failed to stabilize. The Pilots Association has now flagged that after the crash, it had repeatedly warned of fuel control switch malfunctions and stressed that all Boeing 787s needed inspection. Pilots have pointed out that the latest incident is history repeating itself and should be viewed as a warning.
This has happened a couple of times in many aircraft around the world. Yet, the Boeing has not found it appropriate to check the electrical systems. We have been stressing upon the need to check these electrical systems to avoid a further future accident or an incident.
Fuel control switches are designed to be fail-safe, and any possible defect can lead to catastrophic consequences. Bureau Report, India Today.